Do you love puzzle games where you have to build things? Did you ever play Polybridge #1 and love it? If you answered yes to that, then check out my review of Polybridge 2 coming up next on Mumbles. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Mumbles. On today's episode of Mumbles, I'm bringing you guys another game review. Today's game review centers on the game Polybridge 2. Now, this game is a game that just launched, and there's been some really cool things that have gone on with it. So I wanted to bring it to you guys and review it so that you guys could see this game firsthand. But first things first, I do have to ask you guys all a huge favor. If you have not already, please do subscribe to the channel, ring the little notification bell, and drop a like on the video. Helps the channel to grow. You guys know the drill. Just thank you so much for the support. Really means a lot to me and a lot to furthering my goal to having a full-time YouTube channel. So thank you so much. Now, guys, let's talk about some basic information about Polybridge 2. Guys, Polybridge 2, on today's review, I gave as the score of 7 out of 10. Why did I give it 7 out of 10? You're going to have to stay tuned. First things first, I do want to mention this game can be picked up for the price of $9.99 and can be played on both Windows and Mac computers. Now, guys, all the footage from today's video comes from Mac computers, so please do be aware of that. Now, guys, it is usually at this time I give you a description of what this game contains, but instead I'm just going to go over some bullet points because I think that this game pretty much explains itself. The basic idea of this game is you build bridges. You have to solve puzzles to build those bridges. Sometimes you're given less money to do it, and you have to figure out ways to do it. That's the basic idea of it. Some of the things that this game contains that is new to the Polybridge series is 100 plus campaign levels. It has a sandbox mode where you can make your own levels, your own things, and do all sorts of things with. And it also has the Steam Workshop enabled on this game. That means that basically you can go online and download other people's levels and play with them. Now, there are also some new mechanics such as springs and advanced hydraulics. You'll see that as you play this game, but the basic idea and concept is the same as it has been for every bridge builder game out there. So that's all there is to say about the basic information about this game. Now we're going to talk about the graphics, the soundtrack, and the controls. First off, guys, the graphics in this game has some decent graphics. It's basically the same kind of graphics as Polybridge #1 had. Nothing too extravagant, but it does work and it is serviceable. Soundtrack-wise, this game has a nice, relaxing soundtrack. That's one of the great things about the Polybridge series, is even though you're puzzle solving, it doesn't put a lot of stress on you. It has a nice, relaxing soundtrack that just makes you want to continue to play this game. Control-wise, this game works great. They've actually made some improvements to the control, including the copy mechanism, as well as a mass delete, meaning you can delete more than one thing at a time. And it's really well done with the controls. You basically use just the mouse and the keyboard, and you're good to go. So, guys, now we're going to talk about the gameplay. Basically, if you've never played a Polybridge game, I will give you a brief overview of what the gameplay consists of. Basically, at the start of each level, you're given a starting point and an ending point. Usually, it is over a ravine that if you do not build a bridge, you won't pass the level. Now, as you go through it, things obviously will get more difficult. You may have to fix your bridge with hydraulics and things to open up for boats and things. But the basic concept is you're building a bridge from point A to point B that you want to be able to hold up to whatever it is that is passing the bridge. Now, how you do that is completely up to you. But that's the basic idea of this game. What you use to do that is up to you. But again, that's the idea of this game. I can't say it any plainer than that. Build bridges. So guys, now we're going to talk about the cons for this game. The first con that I have is sometimes the game physics can be a little wacky. I know that is acceptable for the most part during these games, but I want to mention it nonetheless. Sometimes when you build a bridge, you'll build it and you'll run the simulation and the bridge will break. But if you run the same simulation again, sometimes the bridge will stay in one piece. So the physics are a little bit wacky in this game. It's not a huge deal, but I wanted to mention it as a con nonetheless. Guys, our second con today is that this game is a bit repetitive, and it kind of just builds off of what the first one was. There's nothing new here to be super duper excited about. Yes, it's a new Polybridge. Yes, there's new levels. Yes, it has a Steam Workshop involved now. But for the most part, you're still doing the same thing you did in the first game. Build bridges. It's that simple. So guys, that is the cons for this game. Now we're going to talk about why I gave this game a 7 out of 10. Guys, for those of you out there like me who love puzzle games, that love building things, that love these kind of games, this is a really good game, and that's why I gave it a 7 out of 10. Now, granted, it doesn't build on anything new, really. It doesn't introduce many new concepts, but what it does do is introduce a lot of levels and gives you the ability to have the Steam Workshop, which means you get even more levels when you're done. So there's a lot here for a little price of $9.99, And if you love these kind of games, you're going to love this game. It's that simple. So the only reason I'm giving this game a 7 out of 10 is because there isn't a big step up from the first game. You know, oh yeah, it's got the Steam Workshop, blah, 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 blah. But guys, it's basically the same concept, and they don't really introduce a whole bunch of brand new things. If they had, maybe it'd get an 8. I don't know. But where it is, it gets a 7. The other reason I'm giving it a 7 is because the physics are slightly wacky. I don't like that sometimes you can build a bridge and run the simulation, and it will react 2 different ways. The first time it won't work, and the second time it will work. Or the first time it'll work, and the second time it won't. That seems kind of to me. I don't like that. So that's why I'm giving this game a 7 out of 10. But guys, do not fear. If you are a fan of these type of games, buy this game. You won't regret it. It's fantastic, nice and relaxing, and it's a great game. 7 out of 10 on our Mumbles review. Anyways, guys, this has been another episode of Mumbles. I want to thank you guys all so much for joining me. Please smack the subscribe button, smack the like button, smack all those buttons, and slap yourself in the face. Ow! And I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye-bye, everyone. Take care.